Here we go. 3, 2, 1.
Boom, and welcome to the Big Honker Podcast, brought to you by Pacific Calls. I'm Jeff Stanfield with the world famous Andy Shaver.
Oh, I'm doing something right now.
What are you doing?
I've got a shirt idea.
Ooh, cool.
But hold on. So Pacific Calls, yes, you do need to go check them out. The BA Lesser Call, I have ran it all year long, and I'm telling you what, I've had a lot of calls in my time on this planet in this game, and the BA Lesser Call is the best. It's a short little call, but the way that it covers a wide range of notes. So you got this real gravelly low end, and then you've got this great top end. Now, so go check them out, Pacific Custom Calls. But tell me what you think about this picture, Jeff. Hold on. I'll have to put it to
I'm going to tell you also, too, guys, go check out our sponsors. We have Dirty Duck Coffee every morning here. We use the Hunt Proof app every day. We use the Gun Dog outdoors in the blind, their blind bag, which I don't know. There's a trauma kit. I don't understand why people don't have that. I mean, every vehicle should have one in it. I mean, the Hunt Proof app. We use the shin gear all the time. We got all kinds of stuff to do.
What if we did that with like a tank top and have like this real cool like Miami Vice type colors and welcome to the gun show across it. And like Miami, like real retro. You know what I'm talking about?
I'm embarrassed for him already.
Welcome to the gun show, Tony style.
Let's let him lose another 40 pounds before we do that.
No, I think of that picture right there. Nice tank top.
He still does have pretty good arms on him for someone that doesn't work out anymore.
Welcome to the gun show, ladies.
God almighty. Okay.
We can get some miles out of this picture.
Yeah, you have to go to YouTube to see the picture we're talking about.
If you haven't seen it, no, just go check out Tony's Facebook and posting all these workout videos and
oh my God,
getting in shape. Yeah, but go check out. I just plugged in the YouTube thing. So
I gave the number one bet lock of the year yesterday to Logan Pyatt.
What was that?
I told him last night. I called him yesterday about 4 o'clock, and I said, "I'm telling you right now, bet the farm on Georgia and the over."
Yeah,
bet the farm. I knew
65-7.
I was not expecting that. I figured Georgia was going to beat them by 4 touchdowns, but I didn't expect it to be that way. They're more physical team.
Did you think TCU would score points more than 7?
Yeah,
or is that about, or were you thinking 35-7?
I thought the final score would be somewhere around 42-14, 49-28, maybe. I figured they'd score some points, but that's what I thought. I mean, they're just a more physical team. Everybody said
better recruits. I mean,
they're all 5-star kids. They just reload. I guess what's his name called Saban out and said right now that Georgia wasn't, and I bet Saban did not like that. But you know, like my mom's like, well, it's just I feel sorry for Saban. Saban should have won some more games. Mm-hmm. He controlled his own destiny. Every college football team controls their own destiny. TCU probably could beat everybody in the country except for Ohio State, Georgia, and Alabama. They probably could beat anybody else. I just think the difference is
to get there.
They beat Michigan.
You know,
they did beat Michigan, and they got all the breaks in the game, and Michigan had some bad turn.
If they play Michigan 5 more times.
If they played Michigan 10 times, Michigan would win 7 of 10, I think.
Okay.
I really do.
I'd go with that.
And I like TCU. I was proud of them. That's a hell of a deal where they went to. It's a great but remember when Notre Dame got the shit beat out of them and then a couple of years in a row in the college football?
Cincinnati went last year. Everybody's making a big hoopla about Cincinnati going. And it's just
the physical
teams.
There's
powerhouses, people.
Yes. It's not like basketball where you can be a lower seed, but you have 3 seniors on there that are 23 or 24 years old, and you're playing against 18-year-old kids and 19-year-old kids at North Carolina and Duke and, So basketball's different. But I thought TCU had a hell of a year. The outcome is about what I thought. They had, that's what someone said. Would you rather be TCU and got beat by Michigan by 1 point or you're embarrassed on national TV? I'd rather be in the big dance.
No, I'd rather be Michigan.
You
can always what might have been.
Well, might have been 85-3. So they're very happy. I did look at the preseason top 20 for next year.
I think Michigan would have played a tougher game, don't you?
Michigan matched up better with Georgia.
Right.
And Ohio State did. Ohio State athlete for athlete. Ohio State should have beat Georgia.
Mm-hmm.
They should have. I mean, and thank God I ain't got to listen to Ohio State beating fucking TCU like that. But I don't think Ohio State would have beat TCU like that. I think Georgia played really bad against Ohio State. I think they were the better team. The SEC is a better football conference.
100%.
And
there's got to be a way to not have this happen every year.
What do you mean?
we all knew what was going to, like, I don't know. I hate to say this, but like TCU fans, like, you should have known this was coming.
They had a great year. They should be happy.
Yeah, but do you think they should have been in the dance?
Yeah.
I don't.
They beat Michigan.
65-7.
They beat Michigan.
That's dumb.
So you don't think they deserve to be there?
No.
Yes, I do.
I don't.
Who do you think should have been there instead of them then?
Fuck,
you got to take 4 teams.
Kansas State, I don't know.
No.
Pick somebody
Kansas
else.
State got the shit beat down by Alabama.
I don't know.
The deal is...
They should have put Alabama in. I mean, if we're being honest...
Alabama's one of the best 4 teams in the country.
Alabama
might have won. Yes, but you can't do that.
Well,
but here's what's going to happen.
It would have made for better football.
They're going to go to 8 teams next year, I think. When they do, and it's all comes down to it, there's going to be 2 SEC teams playing each other every year for the national championship, just about.
You're probably right.
Because they're usually the 2 best teams.
I want to know...
What do you think LSU would have done if they'd have been in?
I want to know what the viewership was. I wonder if that's been released yet.
I didn't watch the game because I knew this was going to happen. I did not even get involved. But look, here's the preseason top for next year. Georgia, number 1 next year. They're going to have a quarterback that's under 35 next year, though. Michigan, number 2. Ohio State, 3. Bama, 4. Washington, 5. TCU, 6. Penn State, 7. LSU, 8. Clemson, 9. Notre Dame, 10. Oregon, 11. Tulane, 12. SC, 13. Florida State, Oregon State, Tennessee, Texas, Utah, Kansas State, North Carolina, Ole Miss, all the way down to Oklahoma's the 25th team, and University of Texas San Antonio is 24th. That'll all change 1,000 times between now and then with the transfer portal, but that is interesting. I'll talk about a few things too. I want to talk about
I guess it's not out yet.
What did you think about the Packers?
They deserve what they had.
Dropped too many passes.
I told you in the third quarter that they were going to lose the game.
They were sloppy.
They're playing sloppy. They're playing undisciplined, and they're not playing with any sense of urgency. You're down. I don't know how many. One time they got a long pass interference, put them inside the 10, walked away with a field goal. They're driving again. Aaron Jones fumbles inside the 20.
That was the ball game right there.
You can't do that.
No.
I mean, it just. The Lions are a very good offense. I've made fun of their coach for being a meathead. He has turned that organization around. They bought into what Dan Campbell has to say. And quite frankly, Bills, Chiefs, Lions in that order as far as fun teams to watch.
If and it didn't happen because I hate Seattle. I hate them almost as much as I did the Cowboys. And I sure didn't want Seattle to win. And the fucking officials were horrible in that game as usual. Officiating's terrible in the NFL. But if Detroit got in, Detroit might have been the Cincinnati this year of a team that's on a run because they have the talent. Mm-hmm. They can score from anywhere. Their defense, I mean, you look at their on the defensive side of ball. I know they gave up a lot of points this year, but I mean, they've got some studs that are coming along. Hutchinson, as they stood, and that kid
Aiden's good. That linebacker, that
Rodrigo.
No, the long-haired.
The white boy, Thor.
Yeah, Thor. But Packers didn't play good enough.
No,
they were sloppy. They were undisciplined, and I mean, what the fuck? Quay Walker. What the? Is there a bigger dumbass in the NFL than Quay Walker?
No, he's an athlete. That's why they have him there. They have him for his brain.
I mean, a trainer. We're just coming off of the DeMar Hamlin week, and the trainer's trying to tend to a downed Lions player.
I'm gonna be the devil's advocate here.
Can I go ahead and say what? And then Quay Walker. So he's trying to get in to see what's going on the field. And he kind of pushes Quay Walker out of the way. Quay shoves him. What are we doing here?
I'm not taking up for the kid, but I'm going to be the devil's advocate.
Go ahead and be the devil's advocate.
I'm not going to be the devil's advocate. I'm going to tell you what's in his eyes. This is what's going on.
Quay?
Yes.
Okay. This ought to be good.
You push me, motherfucker. What are you doing? And push him back.
That's fucking stupid. That is dumb.
I agree. I'm not on his side.
Clay Matthews wouldn't have done that.
No, I'm not on his side. But these young people, these young kids today, think everybody's disrespecting him.
That's his second game to be thrown out of.
He's a dumbass
for doing dumb shit.
And he knew he'd done something stupid. But it's that generation.
And then what happened with the Packers player that walked up and they call a timeout before they kick a long field goal, and he just takes the ball, and then that wasn't a penalty, but then he gets into a tussle with a lineman, and they got a personal foul, 15 yards closer, and they nail the kick. That kicker wasn't on all night.
Generation. It
goes from a 48-yard field goal to 33.
Yeah, that's this whole generation. But that's what he did. That guy disrespected him by pushing him out of the way. Who the fuck are you to push me away? To Quay Walker, that's in his mind. He disrespected me. No, he's trying to do his job. Get the hell out of the way. Did you see the other guy try to bump into the guy too?
Yes, I saw that.
Just dumb.
When
you're
Clay
not
pushed him and then that guy kind of chest bumped him.
You're not at a fucking bar. You know?
Right.
There's somebody hurt there.
I mean, just what if it was a player? Like you're gonna get into a fucking pissing match like that? It's stupid. The game's on the line, and you only need a couple big plays.
Speaking of disrespect,
if
you're in our podcast close group, I had to boot a guy last week for being a dumbass. I booted 2 guys this last week. One of them, or there's 2 more. They entered our contest. We have contest on there. We have pick'em contest. We had 4 different football contests this year you could play. It was $20 a person. You entered without paying, and Nate was nice enough to let you continue to play. Pay the money you owe. There's 2 guys that owe money. He's messaged you, and if you listen to this, pay the damn money. It's $20 a piece. If you don't pay the money, I'm kicking you out of the league. I know you really, out of the site. You probably really don't care anyways, but don't don't make me have to put your name out there, please. That's all we want you to do is pay it. But watch this. See
now 95. Comes
he
around.
comes in here and he's all they took it away. He chest bumped him though.
I think it fucked up.
But it was dumb. I do not complete disrespect. And
here it is. So Swift's down. What are they doing? I don't understand this fucking video. I hate YouTube. I hate it. I guess we're gonna have to watch the entire fucking play. He gets hurt. And then, so now, I don't know how they got this fucking all chopped up.
They're going to go back to it because they didn't show the bump the first time. They show it.
Unsportsmanlike conduct.
Yeah.
So they were just going to give him an unsportsmanlike call. Here it is. Shoved him. But you can see the guy kind of walking up. But like the guy wasn't even a dick about it. Like he didn't even shove Quay.
No, it's like, he just kind
of moved him out of the way. Let me get down and see what I got to do. Fuck you. And then here comes 95.
Yeah.
Like, what's he going to do? What's 95 thinking? Both of those, they got to be fined. 100%.
It's just dumb.
100%. Both of them are catching a fine.
That's just stupid. You can't do that stuff. The guy's trying to do his job. He's not going to get in a bar tussle with you. You're going to whip his ass. You're an NFL outside linebacker. Probably not a meaner beast in the world.
Rodgers' last game there?
I don't know. I listened to a podcast yesterday. And they were talking about an interview, and they were talking about now he's going to hold Green Bay hostage for another 6 months. You're going to find out something probably about July 20th.
I don't know that he will.
Oh, I think he comes back.
I think Rodgers has the decency that if he's done, I think he's going to let you know pretty quick.
He should. They owe him $50 million. His last 8 games were a lot more fun than his first 8. No, they're not going to get rid of him. I told you I think they trade him to the Raiders. I think he okays that too.
Get back with Devontae?
Mm-hmm. I think he goes to the Raiders because I think he knows that the Raiders, he can be back in the playoffs again.
That's a tough division to say that, to be that bold.
You play against Russell Wilson. That's one free game, 2 games a year.
You also play against Patrick Mahomes, Justin Herbert.
The Raiders hate the Chiefs, and the Raiders usually give the Chiefs a good game. Did you see the ring around the Rosie play that the Chiefs did?
Yep.
Boy, the Raiders are not happy about that.
I wouldn't be either, but stop it.
It's
your job.
Yes, that's right.
It's your job. Stop it.
I think that he goes to I think he gets traded to the Raiders for Derek Carr. I think Green Bay's smart if they do that. Then Green Bay them got a quarterback for the next 10 years. I think Derek Carr's a good quarterback. I know Logan Pyatt hates him, but I think he's a good quarterback. And I think the Green Bay Packers have got a lot of young tools. They do.
They do.
They got some 2 good young wide receivers that dropped a bunch of passes the other night that hurt them. Especially Romeo Dobbs.
I never watch, and I don't know if it's just me being a Packer fan, but I never felt in control of that game.
You weren't. You were until Aaron Jones fumbled.
Well, it's just all the fucking drops and people will be wide open and they get hit right in the hands and then they drop it and it's just it always felt uneasy. It always felt like somebody needed a big play to capture the moment and they could have taken the game. And that's what the Lions did with Aaron Jones' fumble.
Well, I can tell you some pissed off people are the Dallas Cowboy fans right now.
Why? Because they got Tom Brady?
Because of Dak Prescott.
What did he do?
He just played horrible again the other day.
Oh,
his numbers were 13 of 38 for 170 yards.
And they didn't rest anybody, correct?
No, they played everybody.
They played to win.
Yep.
Because the number 1 seed was still available, right?
Yeah, Dallas is if Dallas gets beat by Tampa Bay, I called this 2 months ago. I said Dallas is going to be the 5th seed. And they're going to have to go to Tampa Bay and play. Yep. And Tampa Bay matches up well against Dallas.
Right.
Michael Parsons has completely disappeared in the second half of the season in most of the games. I like Dak Prescott, but he is not. His numbers do not lie. He leads the league in NFL. Missed 5 games and leads the league in the interceptions. And that's a tough deal to climb. I don't think Dallas come out of it. I think we're gonna
Monday night.
It's Monday Night Football.
Wow. Now the winner of the Green Bay game, the Green Bay would have been right here against San Francisco.
I don't know. Green Bay could have beat San Francisco.
Fuck no, not in 10 tries. San Francisco, they're sneaky good. So okay, let's just go through this.
I think the Giants beat Minnesota.
Okay, so we got Giants. Who are you picking here?
I'm picking Tampa Bay just because I don't.
So that
I don't like Tom Brady and I don't like the Dallas Cowboys, but I think Tom Brady always beats Dallas. They match up well against Dallas. Their defense does, and Dallas has a hard time covering receivers. And when you got Julio Jones, Chris Godwin, and you've got Mike Evans, and it's playoff time, Tampa Bay is going to be hard to beat.
So I'm assuming you're going to say San Francisco is going to win.
San Francisco.
So San Francisco is going to play Tom Brady, and then the Giants will go to Philadelphia.
Can the Philadelphia beat Giants 3 times in the season, or is the Giants going to get lucky and get an upset or two?
No, I think Philly beats them. I think it's going to be Philly, San Fran right here.
I told you early in the year I took Philadelphia and I took the Chargers, and both teams are in the playoffs, and I'm sticking to my guns. And I think the Chargers beat Jacksonville. I think Cincinnati kills Baltimore, and I think that Buffalo kills Miami.
So we've got 2, 3, and 5.
I don't think there's a good
Kansas City would play the Chargers. And then Buffalo, Cincinnati right here.
Yep. I don't think there's and see, that's another thing too. You got to beat teams 3 times. Kansas City would have to beat the Chargers 3 times in a season. That's tough to do.
Yep.
And the Chargers have played the Chiefs really well. If Chargers are healthy, they're hard to beat. They're a very good football team. It's hard to go against Mahomes. He's so damn good. And then Joe Burrow is scary good now.
Should this game not? Well, I guess not.
Baltimore, is Lamar Jackson going to even play?
No, but I'm saying if Buffalo and Cincinnati play, does that also have to be at a neutral site?
No.
Just the AFC championship
game does.
Huh.
But
if Cincinnati would have beat Buffalo, wouldn't they have had the 2 seed?
Yeah, that's what's fucked up about that's where Cincinnati got screwed on the deal. Is if they should have played that game this week and let everything have a week off. Cincinnati, if they would have beat Buffalo, Buffalo would go to Cincinnati instead of Cincinnati going to Buffalo.
Right. That's fucked up.
It is a screwed up deal. You know what? Play it halfway. Play it in Cleveland.
So
halfway in between would have been fair. They're going to pick, if Kansas City and Buffalo play, they're going to pick a neutral site.
Right.
Now.
And Indianapolis said they're getting a new turf. They're getting a new field, right? So Indianapolis said they're out.
But here's the thing. You're taking one of the elements of having the home field advantage, weather,
right,
out of it. Now, both Kansas City and Buffalo are both cold weather play.
And they're loud.
Yes. So are you going to go play it in St. Louis? In their dome? Or are you going to – because I'm assuming he's going to want to play it in a dome. He don't want to play outside.
Right.
You going to go to Minneapolis and play it? Fucking fly him to New Orleans.
Yeah.
You watch. It's going to come down to the biggest bid.
I'm sure. Yeah.
Jerry Jones.
Come to Jerry World. Weather's fine. I'll close the roof.
And so are we going to have any weather games? You got Dallas at Tampa Bay. If it might be rain. The Giants at Minnesota. No. Seattle and San Francisco will be a weather game because, right now, could you imagine them? I don't know I think it's supposed to be still raining in San Francisco. I think it's supposed that field is going to be sloppy and muddy. Kenneth Walker and McCaffrey will probably have huge games in that.
These will be weather games. Cincinnati, Baltimore, and Buffalo, and Miami.
Yes. And then we're going to run out of the weather for the AFC Championship game. The NFC Championship game.
Look at the fucking weather, Jeff. Like, there's nowhere where it's bad.
Yeah, it is. The West Coast, and it'll be cold. That's it. Terrible weather. This is absolutely the warmest January we've ever had.
80 degrees today and tomorrow, and it was yesterday.
Now, it's supposed to be in 10 days, we're supposed to have the weather where it's going to dry up on the West Coast and it's going to move finally. It's going to be a shitty February. It's not going to affect us hunting-wise. No, we're already in trouble. The end's tough. I talked to 2 other outfitters I'm friends with out here, and we both talked the same thing. Just absolutely miserable hunting right now. You can have a day here, a day there that's good, but gosh, it's going to be terrible. It's hard.
It was guys that were out here hunting?
No. 2 other outfitters.
Out here?
Yeah, in our area.
Oh, okay.
That I'm friends with. I'm not going to bring up their names. But anyways, we talked, and it's the same there. Everybody's struggling. Everybody. And what you wake up, are they going to have birds tomorrow? How long are they going to stay?
It's big wind, big south wind today and tomorrow. Like, there might not be 10,000 birds here in a week.
But are the birds from Mexico going to come here?
I don't know if there are any birds in Mexico.
Oh, there's a lot of birds in Mexico and places. But we're just at that. Somebody was crane hunting on the coast yesterday, and I thought,
really?
They got cranes down there still, so maybe it'll push them
We'll get a
up
reverse then. We'll get a reverse. Speaking of the reverse, Poppy is going to be home in January.
I don't think he's letting everybody know that.
I thought we were going to push this.
Oh, yeah, we are too. Yeah, if you want to shoot some ducks and geese in Nebraska, then get a hold of me or get a hold of Blake Poppy, and he can run hunts. He's gonna go. He's gonna leave here this week. He'll be back home next week, and we can do hunts. And they're covered up with ducks and geese in around Grant area,
which shows you how fucked up everything is.
We were gonna run hunts up there this year, and we waited and see what's gonna happen because of the drought. Well, they're covered with birds. So if you want to do some late season geese, shoot some graders and pit hunting, you can hunt with Blake in Nebraska. I'd go to Nebraska if we were shut down right now. I'd go to Nebraska for 3 days. Wouldn't you? And hunt. Be fun.
Maybe.
Now, let's flip this deal real quick. Let's talk about Reese Boy. Y'all had to fly Reese out in a helicopter last night.
Yeah, he's got the croup. His oxygen was down, and then they flew him out.
Is he better? Did he go to school today?
No, he didn't go to school.
How long is he going to be out of school, they say?
I will send him back tomorrow.
How was last night?
He was fine.
A lot better?
Yeah.
What is the croup exactly?
I don't really know. It's like an inflammation of the airways and...
Is it whooping cough?
No.
It's a different thing.
Yeah.
And it's highly contagious.
It's what they say.
But he's the only one that gets it.
They say it's a virus, and well, here I can pull it up right here. But they say that croup is a virus, but Reese is somehow the only one that gets it. I think that it's allergies of some sort.
I think you're probably right. You know, when you called, so at 2:45 the other morning, my phone goes off.
Never good.
I thought it was. I didn't know what time it was. I figured it's 4:30. How often does my phone ring this time of year at 4:30 in the morning over something? And I was like, what the fuck's going on here? Because it's Andy. And then you told me, then I realized it was only 2:45. And I was like, shit.
And that Andy was off.
Yes. Well, that part didn't even register to me at first.
Mm-hmm. But anyway, this doesn't say that it's a virus.
So it's not asthma.
It's not asthma. It's just croup. Croup.
And most kids grow out of it.
Yeah, they say. So our pediatrician, when Reese had it when he was 2. And he said, he'll grow out of it by the time he's 5. And we've had it once a year. Usually, last year it was in October when we were in St. Lucia, and my in-laws had to deal with it. Croup is most commonly caused by a virus. It is sometimes but rarely caused by bacteria, allergies. So there you go. Now, he went hunting the day before, so this happened on Monday. Saturday he was hunting. We used blankets. There's no telling what bacteria and allergies are in those blankets.
Peanut dust got crazy.
Then he went to Vernon to see my wife's family, and he was running around out there all day with some other kids. So there's no telling what he came into contact there. So yeah, oxygen was down to like 80%, which I always thought being a underachiever in school, I thought 80% was a respectable number and everything.
Not in oxygen.
Apparently not. Like if
90.
If it gets below 80%, you start losing. Vital organs start going offline. So when they said he was at 80, and I was like, oh, that's not bad, I guess.
What was it when you first got there?
80.
What like when Dad would be really sick, it would be 86, 84.
Right.
I mean, what are you at 100% or 98,
95 to 100, I think.
Is normal oxygen saturation.
Right.
And his was 80.
His was at 80. So, we've got this checklist that we do because we've battled this for 5 or 6 years now, but our doctor always told us, if he wakes up, because it always happens at night, because evidently your body naturally produces a certain hormone. I think it's I can't remember what it is off the top of my head, but it doesn't matter. But anyway, that keeps the swelling down. So whatever hormone your body produces during the day, it keeps everything regulated. And then when you go to sleep, and usually about 1 to 3 o'clock in the morning, your body is at the lowest point of the day with this certain hormone. And that's when everything happens. So he came into our room 1:30. Jesse started, did a breathing treatment, and then they've always told us take a hot, steamy shower and then immediately go out into the cold, and that will kind of reverse things. So he did that, and then we did another breathing treatment, and then it just didn't get any better. So off to the hospital they went. Then he got a nice helicopter ride to Cook's Children's Hospital. Everybody was freaked out. So
did
but they said So the people that did the helicopter and the people at Cook's both said that our little podunk hospital here in the middle of nowhere did everything correct. They executed everything flawlessly. So
I'm going to tell you about our
that
little...
should make you feel very good if you're in our area.
Our little hospital, the way they treated Dad is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
I am so in debt to those people. They went above and beyond for Dad when he was in that hospital.
Right.
He was a regular and one of their favorite customers they've ever had, as he'd say. And Dad went a lot. He had to go get blood transfusions twice a week at the end and was very sick. And he spent his last 6 weeks of his life at that hospital. And those ladies treated him just like he was their dad. And that there's nothing I can say enough. That place has saved so many of my friends' lives.
Mm-hmm. They saved Reese's.
That's right.
I'm always fascinated with the old times and like just how lucky we truly are, to live in a society where we've got modern medicine and modern technology. But I was asking Zach, who's now a paramedic, congrats to Zach, what happened to these kids 100 years ago?
They
out
died.
on the plains and, the doctor going to give you a shot of whiskey maybe? What happened? Like they just died.
You look at Old Cemetery, so many kids are in there.
Right. But that's also probably why the life expectancy was 18 forever.
Yeah, there's a lot of people that
there was
live
a lot
to
of
be
infant,
75 years old. But
there was a lot of infant death, obviously.
Yes.
So when you don't get past 0, that kind of fucks up your averages. But
if you could survive past the age of 12 years old, you probably were going to live to be 50 or 60.
But you were probably going to bury at least one parent and maybe two by the time you were 16.
Yes. I read a story one time. And
but it's a helpless, it was helpless feeling. Like the poor kid he can't breathe and nothing that we've got a breathing treatment machine, a nebulizer. And like, even that's not even working. Like the poor fuckers that were on the planes 100 years ago didn't even have that.
What?
They didn't even have
steroids.
They didn't have hot water either to do the whole steam and then outside.
There's two things I remember that's touched me. One of them, and I don't know what. Remember, I was watching a documentary, and as a guy was out in the elements, and he got hypothermia, and they used everything that they could find in a town of hot water to try to save his life, and they couldn't do it
to warm him up.
Yep. Another one was a little boy was on his front porch, and some cowboys. It was on a trail ride or something went by to him, and he was thirsty all the time, and one of the cowboys said something smart to his mom, and she goes, "Well, he has diabetes, and he died like 2 months later. 5 years old. There's nothing you can do about it.
Nothing.
Nothing to produce.
That's hard to manage today.
Yes, and we've got machines that do it for them and inject them with insulin and everything. But yes, you're at the. But thank God for modern medicine on that stuff. But yeah, Reese wouldn't have probably survived a long time ago. Now, most kids with Croup survive now, but how about that poor kid whose parents don't have the withdrawal to get to him to a hospital or to take him to an emergency room?
Like in a third world country?
No, in the United States of America, there's homeless kids and stuff out there whose parents don't, oh, you'll be all right in the morning, and go back to bed, and they wake up and their kid's dead in the bed the next day. And it happens because they don't go and to have their kids taken to doctors and care,
Yep.
And that is it's a horrible thing.
But that did make me feel good.
It's a minor league deal.
Yeah, it is.
It can go major.
Yeah, I mean it's very it's common and treatable, and but whenever we got to, like, the helicopter people were telling Jesse, like they were blown away with how Knox City handled it, and they were like, we just can't, like, they did absolutely everything that we would have done had we seen this case. And that's one thing, because when you got to the big leagues of Cook's Children's Hospital, and the doctors were like, they did everything right. That's a testament to our little hospital.
Tell the story about his head.
Yeah, so we flew to Cook's, and he was very concerned. He asked my wife if are they going to have to shave my head when I get there? He's like, because all the commercials that I see, the kids don't have any hair, which he doesn't understand.
He's a very literal young man,
right? And he doesn't understand, that there are other kids in this world that aren't as fortunate to have good health as he is, and that a lot of times it's just he doesn't know what cancer is. But he was like, every time I see this place come on TV, the kids don't have any hair, so am I going to shave my head? And she's like, no, you're not going to shave your head. But when we were leaving there, we were leaving with our kid intact, and right outside the door, there was a young couple, probably our age. Husband's on the phone, and wife's next to him. They're both just bawling. So I'm sure they got news that was not good.
That's
Reese was asking, like, why are they crying? And we had to tell them, there's a lot of kids that don't leave this place. This is it.
Yeah, it's a great place, sad place. Same with St. Jude's. And we donate to them and stuff. And we are gonna auction off. And you know what? We won't do it at St. Jude's. We'll do that for Cook's Children's Hospital. We're gonna auction off one of the Mossberg guns that we're shooting. And I'm gonna have all my guides sign it, and we're gonna auction. We're gonna raffle it off, and we're gonna give that money to Cook's Children's Hospital. We'll do that this summer.
There you go.
The pediatric cancer in kids and stuff is that you think you're having a bad day. You come in here and you complain about anything, or anywhere else you're at work and you think you're having a bad day. You go to Cook's Children's Hospital, or any children's hospital, and you walk down them hallways and your day is not so freaking bad. 99.9% of us have pretty damn good lives, and we do not see it. We take it for granted. Don't matter how crappy things are. If you think you're having a shitty day, you need to do that. Is that Mitt Romney I'm looking at right here?
No, it's Jordan Peterson. I'm going to show you that. That's have you seen this picture though?
No,
that'll
break
your fucking heart.
Will.
Now, the kid is cancer free that I have heard.
Oh, he did live?
He did live. Yeah, I saw that.
That is a horrible deal to go through, but that is the reality for lots of families in this world, is a kid with cancer or a sick kid having a disease. And one of the strongest young men I've ever known in my entire life was a little kid that lived in Knox City, and he had a kidney disease, and he passed away at about 24 years of age. And he had such a positive outlook on stuff, and his mom and dad were not big fans of mine, but that little boy would talk my ear off. His brother played baseball with pain, and he would talk my ear off, and I would tell him stuff that I would tell any kid, but he was fun to talk about girls and everything with. But strong kid, and he fought and fought and fought, and he passed away a couple of years ago. But that kid went through more than most men will ever go through in a lifetime, and got more out of life than most people do. And it's tough. And his parents, God bless them, that's tough on any parent.
So, to switch subjects, have you heard of Chat GPT?
No.
Is
this a conspiracy deal, or is this something new?
No, this is brand new. It's new technology. We're gonna watch this video. It's Jordan Peterson talking about it, and it's scary what's coming as far as artificial intelligence. This is a longer video, but I think I've got it to where I can hit the highlights. Okay.
How many of you clap? How many of you know what Chat GPT is? There are things, and everyone in the audience should know this, there are things coming down the pipeline on the artificial intelligence front that are just going to make your hair stand on end within the next year, because there is so much transformation going on in that domain, and that's been the case particularly for the last 6 months, that it's almost unimaginable. I figure a third of the universities will go broke in the next 5 years. So I'll tell you what Chat GPT is, just so you know, because you need to know this. And I don't know what sort of technological revolution this is. It's smarter than you. This is a big deal. So this AI system, it's a general language processing model, was released about a week and a half ago. And I went and interacted with it. It's an AI system, artificial intelligence system. It basically is trained on, well, a massive corpus of spoken or of text. So it's derived its models of the world from the analysis of human speech, essentially. It isn't using real world data yet, but that will be happening certainly within the next year. And ChatGPT analyzes a very large corpus of text, and that corpus is growing all the time. Now, it's already sophisticated enough. I went on to it last week, and I said, okay, some of you know I've written these books, 12 Rules for Life, and then Beyond Order, 12 more rules, because, you can't have enough rules. And I asked it, this is what I asked it to do. I said, write me an essay that's a 13th rule for Beyond Order, written in a style that combines the King James Bible with the Tao Te Ching. That's pretty difficult to pull off, Any one of those things is hard. The intersection of all three, that's impossible. Well, it wrote it in about 3 seconds, 4 pages long, and
that's scary.
It isn't obvious to me, for better or worse, that I would be able to tell that I didn't write it. Right, and okay, and that's pretty impressive, but the fact that it could do that grammatically perfectly, right? And quite impressive philosophically. I also had it write an essay on the intersection between the Taoist version of ethical morality and the ethics that are outlined in the Sermon on the Mount, which it just nailed, got that dead right, brilliant. Again, it took it about 3 seconds. There was a computer engineer who purported to work for Tesla. He asked ChatGPT, said, look, I work for Elon Musk, but I haven't been doing much for the last week, so I need you to write me 10 bullet points about what I probably would have done as a engineer at Twitter. What 10 things did I do last week that were productive and valuable? And, oh, if you don't mind, write me the accompanying computer code that goes with each project. And it did that too, 3 seconds, and the computer code works. Right, and so, okay, so that's already there. So then a university professor did this.
So I'll summarize right here. So the university professor was basically saying, how are we going to keep kids from plagiarizing? How are we going to keep them from writing about economic impact of World War II or Civil War or whatever? And it did it. However many pages you wanted, and it just nailed it every time.
Where do you get online to this?
I don't know. I think it's an app, but I was gonna try to dick around with it later today. So, and it'll spit it out 3 seconds each time. So the professor said, okay, now grade it. Grade the paper. He said, because if students are going to be using this, like the teachers need to see some perk out of ChatGPT, and it graded it. They had it perform an SAT, and it scored relatively high, about as high as, your average student will do.
So it didn't score 1,600 then.
No. But so I think this is the end right here.
It's smarter than you, and it's going to be a hell of a lot smarter than you in 2 years.
Because that's the thing. Because as AI gets more and more data, like this is just the base floor of what it can do.
Where is this at though?
I'll find out in just a second.
You can get ready for that too. But it's not that smart yet because it's just a humanities professor at the moment. It doesn't test its linguistic knowledge against the real world. That's what a scientist does, right? You come up with a theory that's linguistically predicated, and then you throw it against the world and see if it sticks. And then the world tells you whether or not your linguistic construction is valid. But the new AI systems will be able to extract out patterns from the world itself, from images and so forth, and then be able to test their linguistic constructions against the world, and so they'll practice just like scientists. And the most advanced models are going to use text and image and action as well, because they'll be able to model human action. And so, and all of that's going to come down the pipes within the next year. So hang on to your hats, ladies and gentlemen, because what did my friend Jonathan Pajot say? Giants are going to walk the earth once more. And we're going to live through that. Elon Musk, one of the things he's working on, he thinks that the world will be controlled by whoever produces the most functional AI system the fastest, because there'll be a first mover advantage. And one of the things Musk has been working on for a long time are distributed AI systems, so that you'll have your own artificial intelligence to protect you against, well, let's say against Google's artificial intelligence, for starters. Yeah, or the CCP's artificial intelligence, because you can bet your hat they're working on that about as fast as they possibly can.
I wish your little brother was here. I'd like to get his take on this.
We'll just ask him about ChatGPT. He'll be able to tell you all about it.
I'll talk to him tonight about that. That's very interesting, though. But what I saw that McDonald's is opening up a completely human-free restaurant. Did you see that?
Really? No, I didn't see that.
Not a human being in the store. It's all going to be deal. All these people wanting $15 an hour. These big corporations are knocking you out of your job. They're going to need salespeople still, and they're not even doing that. Hell, we order food now. Michelle gets on an app and can order everything from our Cisco. We don't have to have a rep no more like we used to.
So you go to openai.com, register an account, log in. If you have an account, log in directly. ChatGPT is on the bottom left. Click it, try it. ChatGPT is a large language model developed by OpenAI that can be used for natural language processing tasks such as text generation and language translations. But like Dr. Peterson said, he wrote all these books, and he said, combine my writing styles with the King James Version and the Tao Te Ching, And it did it. It did it perfectly
In 3 seconds.
In about 3 seconds.
That's just crazy. But I'm wondering who owns this.
Who said it was a humanities professor
That owns this Chat GTP.
Yeah.
He's a wealthy billionaire now.
He's about to be for sure. But I guess this is how I guess you kind of have to know how to code to get it to do what you want it to do.
Well, that knocks me out.
But I mean, I don't know what we're going to see. So Jeff, that was a biblical scripture. Giants walked among the earth. Did you hear that in your Bible?
But I've been doing it every day.
Well, you missed it then.
No, I haven't read the whole Bible yet.
No, it's in Genesis.
Well, I'm still in Genesis.
Oh.
I'm not overdoing myself anymore.
I understand. You got to have something to work forward to.
But I do it at about 10 to 15 minutes a day, and I've enjoyed it, and it's cleansing for me. It's been a really good deal for me.
So I don't know what's to come of this Chat GPT, but it sounds like artificial intelligence is really going to take a big leap forward in this next year.
What's scary is I'm not a sci-fi movie guy at all, but I did enjoy the Transformers movies.
Mm-hmm.
What's the hot dark-headed girl with the blue eyes? That's
Megan Fox.
Well, she's a good-looking someone good. Anyways, I enjoyed those shows. But are we coming to that point where are we going to have good AI and bad AI?
Yeah, you're going to have Terminator, is what it sounds like. Because like he said, the Chinese are working on this as fast as they can. I mean, what happens if you get some evil genius that, you see it all the time in movies.
Microchip's going to be the ruin of the world.
And that's what Elon Musk is working on. He's going to have a microchip that you can put in your head.
That's what we need.
That's just what we need.
There are some people I know that could damn sure use that, though.
In order to use ChatGPT, you will need to have an API key. I have no idea what that is about, which is available for free for certain types of uses. So we need somebody. API key?
I think I know what that is, but I'm going to look it up because I'm not going to say nothing look like a real dumbass.
We need somebody smarter than us.
Yes.
What an API key. It is application programming interface key. It is a unique code that is passed into an API to identify the calling application or user. That answered no questions for me.
You want to know something? Your younger brother's a nerd.
Mm-hmm.
Because I don't know. How the hell could that be interesting to anybody?
I don't know. I have no clue. But it's scary to think that, because now all of a sudden, are you just going to be able to plagiarize your way? And I mean, I'm obviously thinking on a very basic level of this, but I mean, are you just going to be able to plagiarize your way through high school and college now?
What's the story? No, because someone's going to come out with something that fights against that.
Right.
The teachers will be able to buy. If you're an engineer, find out a way for teachers and universities to buy something that shows something wasn't done by Chat GTP or whatever it is, and you'll be a millionaire quick.
Microsoft invests $10 billion in creator of buzzy AI tool Chat GTP. That's a 5-hour old article.
Okay. Where he said on there that a third of the universities were going to be out of business in 5 years.
Right.
So what's going to happen to these kids? My grandkids. What's their future?
Trade school.
Well,
I don't know.
Okay, but let's say you're going to become an electrician, and
Right.
we need more electricians, and we need more plumbers, and all
Are
that
you going to
stuff.
need more whenever all this shit happens?
Well, people are still going to have to live,
Or just all of your artificial...
or people are just going to live in cubicles and have everything done for them, and then they're going to... I mean,
Have you
what
seen The
life is
Matrix?
that? No.
I haven't either. I was hoping you did.
No.
But
Show.
it's kind of the same thing, though. Like, you plug yourself into this chair, and then you go and do everything that you would normally do in a different world.
That sounds miserable.
I mean, that's what they're saying is basically going to happen here. Everybody's going to have their own, basically, avatar to go dick around in the new universe.
Christmas time stirs up lots of memories for me always, and it does most everybody. But I think of when I was a kid a lot, and I read back the old Wichita Falls. I used to have a Mead Bread had a Christmas deal. We used to drive. I remember getting in the car with my mom and dad, and we would drive through town to go to certain things you would see, like at Parker Square, which there's no name of Parker Square no more. It was like a strip mall with stores and stuff there. They had a Kodak you used to drop your film off. Believe it or not, you used to take your film out of your camera, drop it off, and come back in 3 days and get your pictures.
Right.
But anyways, they had a Santa Claus that was there in a building. People would go there and go see Santa every day, and you'd see all this Santa stuff, and it was all in. life was just so much simpler then, but it was so much, it was so neat. It was so different. But we would be so bored at them times because the way we live nowadays, the instant gratification and things. And it just scares me where we're going for the future, because we've went so far in my lifetime to where we are now to what 20 more years down the road will be like. It's going to be scary. Because my dad lived to be 76, 77 years old. I can't remember. But from the time he was a kid to the end of his life, the last 5 years, things really kind of changed a lot. But the majority of the things were basically the same for 50 years. You know, we things got improved. We had better refrigerators. We had more choices of
Have we had better
foods.
refrigerators? Because like that meme says, though, like your grandma never had to buy another refrigerator.
Well, that's
I'm on my second or third.
right, but they were bigger.
Hers never went out.
They didn't have water that come out of it and stuff. I'm just saying we improved things. We had a my dad didn't have a microwave till he was probably 35 years old. You had to warm stuff up in the oven. So that way life was different, but there wasn't a bunch of huge changes in his life. Well, in my lifetime, in the last 20 years, there's been all kinds of changes have taken place. You know, I remember when a VCR was new, and I think that you probably think that's hilarious, but I remember actually having to fast forward a movie to get the place where he was at.
Yeah.
I remember on cassette tape, you could actually push a button on a GM pickup, and it would actually go to the next song on the
Fascinating technology.
Oh, it was crazy. It was like, wow, you know, that's pretty cool.
Listen to this song.
But you know, we had 8 tracks. I went through 8 tracks, cassettes to CDs to now satellite radio. I don't even know if you can buy a vehicle that's got a CD player anymore in it. But and that's just been in the last 20 years or 30 years. Well, probably with the 8-track, 40 years. But forever, things from 1935 to 1975, those 40 years, things changed a little bit, but they didn't change that much. But when we got that computer chip and they got to learn how to do shit with it, the whole world has changed. And not always for the better. Now, I can't imagine sitting in my living room trying to watch a damn 42-inch box TV.
If this continues to go, like you'll just plug in and you'll be at whatever event you're wanting to watch, is my idea of all this.
That would be cool. But the sidelines is we're fat now. Can you imagine how fat we're going to be when we don't have to fucking do nothing but sit all day long?
Yeah. I don't know. It's a brave new world out there. So this OpenAI recently made a pitch to its investors saying the organization expects $200 million in revenue this next year and $1 billion by 2024. So
what's going to happen in neighborhoods? Because already we live in a small town, so we should be the last affected. But when you go in a big city, do you see kids playing outside anymore? Or is everybody inside all the time? Can you imagine 10 years of this shit? Will people even leave the house? And I don't know how many jobs you need that remote work.
Right.
We can't do it. Can you imagine just doing remote waterfowl hunting? Sit in this chair and we're going to shoot geese today.
It acts like it's an app. I'm going to go to the App Store real quick. See if I can't find ChatGPT. But evidently it costs like a penny per 20,000 words or something like that. Chat.
So this is going to be the new thing that
there it is right there.
3 years from now, we're going to be this is just be a normal everyday deal.
Chat GPT with AI. GPT AI Genie. Yeah. I mean, you can get this app right here. Here is a Shakespearean poem written in the style of Eminem.
I have no use for this, I don't think, right now. Have you seen these guys that buy these?
But okay, so let's take it a step further. What about authors? There was another thing that I fast forwarded through. It said somebody put in, write me the next blockbuster movie with character development, and it did it in about 3 seconds.
What was the movie?
I don't know what the movie was, but it wrote a screenplay with character breakdown. And then it said, make me basically make me the picture of the characters that should play these parts. And it spit that out also. So what if an upcoming author says, write me the next whatever story about vampires and werewolves. Basically, give me a spinoff.
They've got one coming out.
Give me a spinoff of Twilight with written in the style of William Shakespeare. It'll do it. Did the author write that? Like,
No.
Is this what we're going to be reading? years from now is just crazy ideas that people plugged into Chat GPT.
So we're robbing all of our people with talent.
Maybe. I don't know. I mean, maybe.
That's crazy.
Instead of just writing it yourself, what if you just had an idea about what you wanted a book to be about? And instead of you going through the 6 months that it takes to write and edit it and process it and get it out to the masses, you just give it to Chat GTP, it spits it out in 3 seconds, and you just go and print that. Pass it off as your own.
Scary times.
Interesting times, for sure. Scary, probably.
We're getting away from...
We're flirting with a lot of weird times. But, I mean, what are robots not going to be able to do? Could they drive? Could they captain your ships?
I mean, you got people already not driving their own cars.
Right.
Everybody's
relying on Uber. And
no,
Lyft.
I'm talking about AIs.
Oh, with Tesla?
Tesla and shit. People don't even know how to drive.
Now, that's limited to the highways. You can't do it out here in the podunks. But, yeah, if you're going to do the automatic driving, you got to be on a highway.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. Yep. So, as soon as you turn off in Monday off of 277... you got to drive yourself.
I did not know that. I thought it was everywhere.
Not yet.
It's coming, though.
100%.
I don't even like Michelle. I drove her Tahoe the other day, and I get too close to somebody, and it flashes me. I know how close I am. I'm trying to get them to fucking move out of the way. If you drive, that's my biggest pet peeve in the world is slow drivers in the left fucking lane. What driving school did you go to that makes you think that if the speed limit's 75 and you're going 81 that you need to be driving in the left lane? Get your slow ass over.
Hold on. What if you're driving 82?
Get your ass over.
And you're passing people.
And then someone's trying to pass you. Get over so they can pass you. Then you can get back over.
I don't necessarily agree with that.
Why?
If there's 3 cars on the right side, in the right lane, and I'm going 82, and I'm trying to get around these people, I'm not going to pass the first one and then scoot over just so that you driving 85 can pass me.
Well, you should.
Fuck that.
That's what I did.
Stay behind me until I get around everybody that
drive faster.
I will get over eventually.
Well, drive faster.
35 in fucking Dallas. I don't know how people do it. I was there at 7:30.
That's why they have alcoholics.
Oh my God. Traffic was terrible, but I think that the city of Fort Worth has purposefully fucked up the highway so that people will get on the tollway.
Oh, you didn't take the express lane?
No, I didn't.
Why not?
Because I was a mile away, and I didn't want to like.
How long did it take that mile for you to go?
About 20 minutes.
That's crazy.
It was, and Google or the maps fucked me on my phone because I guess I didn't have it zoomed out far enough, so it said expressway entrance right here, and I went about another 1/10 of a mile, and it just fucking red lights, and then. That's about the time my screen caught up, and it was yellows and reds the rest of the way. And I'd already missed my get out of jail free card.
That express lane, I'm telling you right now, when you get to when I come on to 35 right there by Western Center Boulevard,
it's fucked up
at Fossil Creek. If you get in that express lane before you ever make that turn on to 35, you can be at the airport in 5 minutes.
Oh, you're cruising.
10 minutes.
You're cruising.
And everybody else is blocked up, and you're going 85
you're
miles
cruising.
an hour.
But I didn't know. I had a mile to go. I was like, I'm not going to get on there. And then what if they don't have my exit that I need? And, this might be a disaster.
That whole part of Fort Worth's a pain in the ass anyways.
It's always been. Who the fuck is running these things in Fort Worth?
Did you see the Thistle Hill house?
No.
It's an old house. It was the Electra Biggs Wagner. That's what her daddy got her when she got married. And they gave it to Cook's Children's Hospital, I believe. It's an old, beautiful home.
I wasn't doing a whole lot of sightseeing there.
No, but you drive right by it when you're over there.
Wasn't doing a whole lot of sightseeing. But
so how long did it take Jesse and them to get there? 45
an hour.
minutes? It was an hour flight.
Yep. 1 hour. Like Jesse was saying, those helicopters are so small. She's like, what do they do if somebody codes on them?
They have to land.
In flight. They do have to land?
Die. I don't think they can do CPR. I don't think
they
can't do shocking in the air, I think.
But Jesse was like, even like she said, I sat and one nurse was like, we were knee to knee. Basically.
There's not a lot of room in them.
And then there was, so Reese, I guess, the way she described it, she had her back to the pilot. And then there was another nurse, and then there was like Reese. And like, he's a little kid, but she's like, even if they would have had to done something on Reese, it would have been tight.
Yeah, there's not a lot of room from error. That whole thing is designed to get you as quick to a hospital as possible.
Because you've got to be stable before they put you on the helicopter. For that reason.
I've seen them one time land and take off here 7 times.
Just because they kept crashing.
Go to take off and go back down. Pull them inside, pump on them, shock them, get them stable again, put them back on there. 7 times one night, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth, back and forth. Finally, they turned the chopper off, went inside.
Never good.
Waited about 30 minutes, and pilots walked out, got in the helicopter, and flew off without the guy.
by themselves.
Yes, he died.
Yeah. That's never good.
But I don't think that they can shock them. I think they've got the CPR deal machine, that belt they put around them that does the pumping and stuff.
Right.
I think they have them on there. But I think basically all they're trying to do is get you stable enough to get you to a place they can help you. There used to be a show on, and it was a documentary on TV, and they rode with these helicopter people.
Or you put the camera.
And they had GoPros in them and stuff. But it was really neat that you see how, especially you get in the middle of West Texas, Arizona, New Mexico on the interstates. That's the only Lifeline people have. Albuquerque probably runs 2 or 3 helicopters out there every day.
These people had to come from Altus.
Oh, we were right by them. So they go from Altus to here to Cooks. So they went on Teddy Bear Air or whatever it is. They also have a jet they fly.
One of these ladies said that, one of the nurses said that they've had to call them all the way from like Arkansas, just because there's nobody that'll come get these people a lot of times.
They've got a jet also. Cooks does a couple of them, I think.
Right.
It's pretty interesting.
There's the app symbol. I'm still stuck on ChatGPT.
I'm gonna let y'all be guinea pigs on this and figure it out later.
Well, I'm not writing any more essays, so I think I'm good for now.
That's where the money's at.
100%.
Yeah.
The app charges users $7.99 a week, $50 annual to use the bot unlimited time. And
if you're in school though, that's cheap shit to be writing your papers.
Fuck yeah.
What kind of idiots are we gonna have at school? You're gonna have guys go all the way through college, Harvard, and everything there, and they're gonna get.
But is that why he's saying that?
Clueless.
Is he saying that that's why a third of colleges are going to be broke in 5 years? Is because there's just this has flooded the market, and that's what everybody's doing.
I thought college enrollment was way down.
It is way down.
But they keep building on.
That's why it's way
The
down.
Midwestern State University in Wichita Falls that I went to doesn't exist anymore. It's a microcosm. I mean, it's just micro what it was. It used to be a small little thing in the middle of it. Now it's huge. The little inner part is where I went to school at.
Don't allow. This falls a historic drop.
2%, 1.1, which I wouldn't consider that huge.
No, but I think it's already saying that 2020 that is on top of college enrollment nowhere near pre-pandemic levels.
But shit, what are you going to do with a college degree now? I mean,
college enrollment has been declining since 2010. From spring of 11 to spring of 2022, colleges have lost about 3.3 million students, or 17% of enrollment. So over a decade,
we've lost 17%. You do that again, another 15% on top of that. You're talking about some massive. You're talking about 40% for some schools.
Right.
But
it's because that they have made, it's a couple things. The government has subsidized your college education. They've guaranteed you to get the loans. Colleges know that. So enrollment, the dollar amount has, I'd like to see what that compares to the dollar amount rising over from 2011 to 2022. So they're charging you more for school. You're not getting as much, and they just keep building these fucking buildings and just all this bullshit around it. Texas Tech's totally rehauling their stadium. Who do you think is going to pay for that? Where do you think that they're going to make their money back on that?
People sitting in the seats?
That, and they're going to milk the students.
Well, yeah.
Your tuition rate's going to go up.
When I was in college, you could go to college pretty cheap compared to what it is now. I mean, a kid like me could pay for his own college. I never got a rent. I wrote a check. No, you can't. That's right. But I worked. You make $5 an hour and you could pay your college off. If you saved up $1,000 a semester, you could go to college.
Right.
You can't do that shit no more.
No.
And it's crazy the way things are gotten. And the deal is, back then, if you graduated and you had a college degree, you could get a job somewhere. You got a college degree? Yes. What's it in? Bullshit and finger painting. Okay, we'll give you a job. They get you a job. Well, today, how many? We're so far trying to find teachers right now. If you just have a college degree, you can become a teacher, can't you?
They'll take you
because there's no job. I mean, nobody's going to. Nobody wants to be a teacher.
I think it's that way in a lot of fields. I mean, how many people? I mean, go to TikTok and just look at some of the fucking videos that are on it.
We had a kid here the other day, graduated from college. I go, what are you going to do? So I'm trying to get in the insurance business. You don't have to have a college degree to sell insurance.
Right.
I hate to tell you this, but your parents spent $100,000 for you to go to school for 5 years so you can fuck off to sell insurance.
Because all you got to do is pass the exam. There's an insurance exam in there.
No, you have to get your insurance license.
Right.
But it's not hard.
But there's a test that goes along with you getting your...
But you don't have to spend $100,000 going to college.
You don't have to be a realtor either, do you?
And I'm telling no, same thing. But that doesn't mean you can sell shit. There are
Right.
people that are sales. Your mom has got her real estate degree and 2 college degrees. Your mom ain't selling shit because she's not a closer.
Right.
She does not like to sell stuff. She's not a salesman on top of you. There's a slick Joe Bob out there that don't have no fucking graduated junior high, but he can sell shit and make a lot of money.
Mm-hmm.
They can't teach you to be a salesperson. But yeah, that's the kind of things people go to college and they go sell insurance. I'm like, what are you doing? You know, be an electrical engineer. If you're going to go to college, go. Same thing I told Payne when he went in the military. Get you a skill that when you get out, you can make money, other than shooting people.
Payne's not texting me back.
Well, what time is it?
9:30 there.
Oh yeah, he's probably at work.
But I want to know more about ChatGPT. What he sees.
But you need to learn a skill. So I'm telling you right now, if you're young and you're listening to this and you're 16 years old, learn how to weld, learn how to be a plumber, learn how to do something like that. You will make all the money you want to make. Because if you think plumbers and electricians are high now, you wait until there ain't none of them out there hardly.
Right.
Those guys will be writing their own ticket.
I mean, all the plumbers and shit right now, you know, they're coming up. You're going to see a massive overhaul in plumbers and electricians because a lot of them right now are in their late 50s, early 60s.
All the young ones that I see coming through this door all have a credit card that weighs 3 pounds. And that's when you know you got some money. They don't give those fucking high dollar credit cards to poor people.
Right. I mean, even like we had one of Blake's friends as an electrician, and he's a traveling electrician. So like he's his own independent contractor, has no brick and mortar store, and he just travels. Now he's obviously young and no kids and has a wife that can work from anywhere.
What do you think he makes an hour?
Whatever he wants.
$75 to $100 an hour?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Probably so.
Making $600 a day.
I think he told me.
But $600 a day,
right,
with expenses. That's good money. It's
yeah.
damn good money.
And and you can pick what you want to do.
Yes. Like
he says, I just go on this employment website and I look and see what jobs are available where. He said I look for jobs that will pay per diem just because that's more money on top of my salary. And if it's not a job that I want to do, if they're not doing, certain things, I don't do it. But I don't have any brick and mortar store. I'm not having to take a bullshit job in a small town just because I have to have the money. It's like I'm doing the part of electrical work that I want to do, and I get to travel the country while doing it.
Even a guy that paints houses now, you can't find nobody to paint.
Nope.
Painters come down to this. You either have professional painters that do a damn good job that show up every day, or you got Joe the crackhead over there that paint for $4 an hour. There ain't no in betweens with that.
Right.
Plumbers and electricians ain't that way. They're all professional and do it. But painters come to a whole different deal. They're either professional painters that do a good job, or they got Joe the drunk over there. So, it's been kind of interesting. I don't even know what we've talked about. We've talked about football, Chat GPT, and so chat's going to be the new thing we're hearing about.
Sounds like it. I'm just trying to find more about the
scary world we're living in. Anything else happening in the world right now? I did see that
incredible shrinking of college, future of college. I'll read this article.
What's the kid's name that Kyle Rittenhouse?
Yep.
I saw that one of the Baldwin brothers tried to make a smart ass comment about him shooting somebody.
Really?
Thought, boy, that's tone deaf right there.
Right.
Your brother is murdered some lady.
He did.
And you're talking about some other gun control shit. And I thought, Jesus. It's funny. It's rules for thee, but not for us, or whatever the hell they say.
Rules for thee, but not for me. They did get rid of Congress got rid of the IRS big spending bill. So sounds like the 87,000 agents is not going to happen. Now, I did see where.
Well, hold on. Did the president have to sign that shit too?
I don't know.
But what's funny is the Democrats, every one of them voted against that. So they all want more IRS agents. So if you're a Democratic voter, your fucking people want you to get taxed more. Just look at it that way.
Did you see where Biden did the exact same thing that Trump did as far as classified documents?
Yeah, same thing.
He was improperly storing them?
As a vice president. Not as a president, but as a vice president.
But he still knew that he was improperly
Yes.
I got a hair in my nose. Improperly storing these things, and he wrote the warrant basically for the Mar-a-Lago raid.
That it's such a double standard shit. Biden didn't do that shit. He ain't fucking smart enough to do that shit anymore. He's done. We all know that shit. I'm so tired of that crap. And just like the people in Kentucky, if y'all vote for that turtle-headed motherfucker Mitch McConnell one more time, y'all deserve everything you get. There is no way anybody should vote for that bastard.
Mm-hmm.
All these sitting guys, rhinos, Democrats, all of them. We ain't get rid of every one of them fuckers.
Bobbert, it's Bobbert, right?
Laura Bobbert.
Lauren Bobbert. Bobbert. She tweeted out yesterday that they will vote on term limits with this House that they have right now.
They should, and that's the best thing ever happened.
She tweeted it out, so we will see. I think I might even screenshot it, but she said this House will, in capital letters, vote on term limits for lawmakers. That's Congress, right?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. I just wanted to make sure it wasn't like the Supreme Court or some bullshit. So, how do you spell her name?
Boebert. I think she's a hottie, too.
Yeah.
Them glasses make her sexy.
Let's see if we can find her right here. Yep, right there. The one, it's going to make me log in, I bet. No? Okay, good. The 118th Congress will vote on term limits for lawmakers. After years and years of talk, we'll finally see where the people truly stand on this issue. Maybe that's our get out of jail free right there. We brought it up, but people didn't want it.
Well, if she puts it on the deal and they vote for it, them fuckers got to put their name next to it. That way they can't say, well, we need term limits. Well, then vote on it.
So anyway, I don't know if she ran on that. I don't know.
I think it's part of the pledge they signed with one of the things that they're a part of.
Right.
Like the Freedom Caucus or whatever it is.
Where is she from in Colorado? Probably not anywhere very liberal.
I don't know. They tried to beat her ass and they didn't, and they'd spend every dime they could to do it.
Pete was telling me he had seen the stats on how we didn't outspend anybody in races that mattered.
The Republicans didn't
Yeah.
know. They didn't want to win. In Georgia, they wanted fucking to lose because if they won, then they're going to have to do something. Lindsey Graham and all them other no good, worthless bastards do that shit all the time. It's a WWE
Georgia,
script. All
Arizona,
of them. Yes,
everywhere.
They did not want to win those deals because if they did, then they got to do something.
Right. They can't play games.
No. If they would have won like they thought they should have and what they should have won, but it's not a spending money deal, it's a fraud deal. And so it's so much of fraud everywhere. And that's the problem. And we all know it. And we're all suppressed on what we can say, what we can do, what we can talk about. You see, they said Putin's about to die.
Saw that. It's cancer.
I wonder who's going to be taking over that deal.
I don't know.
If they're going to get a hardcore communist or if they're going to be open up all the way. And
I don't know. I saw a video of Nixon talking about, that's how old that video was, but he was talking about how Russia really needed free enterprise to work over there, because if it didn't, whoever ran it next would basically go back to, no, you need the government to control everything and more communism and stuff like that. Same with China and all these other places. But we've seen what happened with China. They're going full communism.
This is going to make me sound really, really unintelligent. And I know I'm not the most intelligent person, but do you think Russia was as bad as our media and the propaganda told us it was? Or do you think it's more of our media just telling us they had waited in line for hours and hours to buy a roll of toilet paper?
I don't know. I can't tell you I know either.
But
knowing our media, I wouldn't. Would I put it past our media to lie about how bad things are over there? No, absolutely not.
That's what I'm getting at.
But would I stake my name on saying, yeah, Russia's this dream place? No.
I don't think it's a dream
place.
And
it's just like look what our media did when Biden went to El Paso.
Yeah, cleaned up everything.
They cleaned everything up. Same as what the Chinese party did, I think, when they were trying to get some of the Olympics. They'd spray paint the grass green to make it look like this utopia.
Did you see?
No, that wasn't it.
Did you see Biden's, where he stood where he talked and stuff? In front of a fucking gate. Fence.
Oh, really?
Fucking go down where the drug cartels are right there and open it up. But I'm going to tell you what, Mexico is bad in Sinaloa right now.
Really?
Sinaloa, yeah. That drug, they arrested El Chapo's son.
Saw that.
And they have been just killing the shit out of people left and right over there.
I can't find it was this one, but I'm not going to dig through all that.
Oh, Richard Nixon. Oh, Tricky Dicky.
Well, here it is. 2 minutes. We can do that. Do that with our eyes closed.
Mr. President, the world has been virtually turned upside down in the 2.5 years since the Berlin Wall came down. A new dynamic is emerging. And also emerging is a new Russia as a great superpower. Yet this Russia is having trouble getting its feet on the ground, so to speak, and turning its directions into a capitalist economy, a free market economy. You have made recommendations not only in your book, but in your speeches and at your recent conference.
Cancer kill him?
The United States should do
I don't know.
And you've also pointed out what the consequences of not helping Russia will be. Would you share with us your thoughts?
Well, Russia at the present time is at a crossroads. It is often said that the Cold War is over and that the West has won it. That's only half true, because what has happened is that the communists have been defeated, but the ideas of freedom now are on trial. If they don't work, there will be a reversion to not communism, which has failed, but what I call a new despotism, which would pose a mortal danger to the rest of the world, because it would be infected with the virus of Russian imperialism, which of course has been a characteristic of Russian foreign policy for centuries. We begin with that. Therefore, the West has, the United States has, all those who want peace and freedom in the world, a great stake in freedom succeeding in Russia. If it succeeds, it will be an example for others to follow. It will be for China, for example.
Okay, we can go ahead and stop it there.
Or the other communist states.
What's interesting about that is what he's saying is the truth. We all know that. But have you seen the video of Putin making the guy, one of them oligarchs, sign that piece of paper, and then the guy takes his pen and puts it away?
Yeah.
Even when they had more capitalism, they still were only allowed to do what.
They still had a dictator.
Yeah, Putin is the wealthiest man in the world.
Putin? I
Yes.
thought the Queen of England was.
No. The crown jewels she has is worth a lot. Putin is the wealthiest man in the world. He has all of Russia.
Yeah, but I think it's a lot of that over there is pretty desolate territory, isn't it? I mean, it's not worth anything.
Well, I'm not talking about the land. I'm just talking about all the things they have.
Is Putin secretly the richest man in the world? Fortune magazine. He makes $140 a year. On paper. Oh, fuck. You got to subscribe.
Yeah, I think he is the wealthiest man in the world.
Right. I mean, Fortune magazine wrote an article about it, so obviously there's something there to there it is. No.
It says he's worth $75 billion in one of them. Now he's not as much worth, but
$70 billion.
$70 billion.
It's a lot of money. And I mean, he was just a mobster, wasn't he, basically?
Tough guy.
But I mean, you understand that when he walks into a room.
Yes, but anyways, I saw him do them oligarchs that way, and he said, you are going to do this. These people are going to go back to work, and you're going to sign it. If you don't sign it, then you're going to be fucking out of business, basically, and kind of ended that stuff. And that doesn't happen in a capitalist society.
Right.
So they still, even when they were capitalism, they had a lot of communism going on too.
Nixon, they said McGregor almost got killed for that.
Why?
Putting his arm around him. Like, if you watch the video from different angles, like, Putin's guys were getting ready. McGregor got scared. I think it'll show it here. But, yeah, McGregor, like, he puts his arm around him just to do that pose, and then, like, Putin's guys, they try to come in pretty quick.
Was Putin upset about it?
No. Putin doesn't get upset about anything, though. So here, fast forward to the end. Okay, we got a little handshake. And here's our picture. And now, whoop. Did you get your arm off of him? Okay. Yeah, let me.
He caught it. He's a tough guy, but he ain't that tough.
Okay. Well, I'll move my arm for you, Mr. Putin.
Yes.
But I mean, what's this guy supposed to do? He's a UFC fighter.
Yeah.
He's not the most intelligent in the world. Like, you know, I mean, and he's a very, very savvy businessman. I'm not taking anything away from Conor McGregor. He's very sharp in that regard. He does not know the ways of the world.
You got to know your room.
and you know, I mean, he just, Putin's a fan, and he wanted a picture, but evidently you're not supposed to put your arm around old Putin.
It was
like
great,
that.
boy.
He
Okay. Yes, sir.
Okay, I'll keep my hands to myself and put my hands up. But I mean, what do you expect out of Conor McGregor?
It's going to be interesting to see what happens when this all falls.
It's going to be a vacuum. It's going to be a power struggle for sure. Is the next regime in Russia are they gonna stick with the Ukraine war? I mean, there's a lot of stuff that it's gonna happen.
You mean the Democratic and Rhino money laundering war?
Yeah, that one.
That's what it is. We all know that too. That's how dumb we are. We're the dumbest people in the world are American citizens. We're sheep.
Yep. All right. We got to get out of here. They rang the dinner bell.
All right. God bless y'all. Have a great week. Thank you very
people.
much.
Go check out our sponsors like we said at the top of the episode. Go check out Pacific Calls. Check out Bosch Shot Shells, Dive Bomb Industries, Time to Get Skinny, Mossberg, Gundog Outdoors, Shin Gear Waders, Lucky Duck, Looking Glass Podcast, Hunt Proof App, Alpha Outdoor Specialties, Bangtail Whiskey, Stanfield Hunting Outfitters, Dirty Duck Coffee, Ducks Unlimited, and Double T British Kennels.